Hi, my name is Dakota Holt. This is my coaching interview presentation of Coach Jeff Dreisbach, who was my high school lacrosse coach in 2014 to 2018, and he's currently the Preston High School boys varsity lacrosse coach. What type of motivational techniques do you generally use with the teams you coach the most? Coach said at the start of his experience, he was more of a player coach. He coached WVU while also playing along with WVU on the Mountaineer Lacrosse Club. He then, after years of playing on the team and coaching on the team, decided to coach for WVU after being offered that from WVU's athletic programs. And he decided to start up the program and go from there. He coached at WVU for 13 years, then moved to high school lacrosse at University High School for another 14 years, and then has now been coaching at Preston High School for the last 13 years. He used all of this information to provide credibility and maintain an emphasis on how experienced his knowledge is in the game, being in it for 30 plus years. As a motivation, he used talking with his athletes and helping them to find the solutions on themselves, as he feels that's more valuable and motivating them to do the things that he's desiring them to do in the first place. My second question was, what prepared you prior to coaching to have such an extended career in it? Coach's answer was that from his perspective, the things that helped him the most were his prior playing experience and his unwavering love for the game. Coach goes to all types of conferences and meetings all around the U.S., meeting new people and coaches from different eras. He knows the current sitting WVU lacrosse coach, some lacrosse coaches in different smaller schools. He's played with multiple Division I athletes that have went on to play at like John Hopkins, Towson, Virginia. That's just to name a couple. And then he also said that even when he wasn't playing or coaching a game, he was watching one. And that he would to figure that the more that you gravitate towards the things, you're constantly around it more. My next question was, how did it feel to have your number retired by WVU recently? Dreisbach said that it meant a lot to him to have his number retired by the organization that he gave so much to. When asked about it, other than that, he said it really meant a lot that they would think of him that much in the first place to give him that recognition. To receive it felt like a once-in-a-lifetime honor to him. That was the place where he started his coaching journey, and I feel like having his number retired by the place where he started really means a lot to a coach that started a program from the ground. Dreisbach noted that seeing his old friends from his playing days and reconnecting for the first time in years brought him to tears at the ceremony. He found a friend that he had seen from Vermont that lives currently in Jersey, and he played with when he lived in Baltimore, and he said he hadn't seen him since they graduated from that college in sometime in the 70s. I didn't exactly ask the exact date, but sometime in the 70s he graduated from there, and he hadn't seen him since then. He also said, "You never know when you might see these guys again. I made sure that they knew how much I appreciated them," which adds to the fact that he hasn't seen him in a long time, and these people showing up to see him get his number retired really sat with him a lot. How important is diversity and inclusivity in lacrosse to you? He said it's very important. He thinks that everyone deserves the chance to try and enjoy this game. I only coach the kids that come out and try, no matter who they are, the best or play. Coach was always no matter who's on the field, it's going to be the best 11 guys for that game. So it didn't really matter about race or religion or anything of the sort. He wants the best players on the field. Coach also noted that he had played with and against many people in his day, and the important thing that everybody was having fun. How do you handle year-round preparation of athletes? The biggest benefit to Dreisbach's training plan was to play other sports. He always encouraged athletes to play other sports. When I was in high school myself, he encouraged me to do more of my football weightlifting and training, as it was more bulking me up. And then when it came to lacrosse season, I would slim down and work on the side-to-side lateral movements. Dreisbach also said that he was a big believer in specializing if you have a great opportunity in a specific sport. But for most athletes, it's best to encourage them to be as active as possible. And this, I think he just purely meant the more sports you play, the more likely you are to build muscle, be in an athletic frame all the time, be in shape, be able to go out and perform your best. What are your general administrative responsibilities, being as involved with the youth programs as you are in the state? For this, Dreisbach said that he usually had meetings, conferences, sending letters to different state and national bodies, organizing schedules, and league-wide events just for the starters of his job. He said there's much more to it, but being the president of youth lacrosse in West Virginia is a very involving job, and he's very involved in and out of the state, so that takes up a good deal of his time. And lastly, my learning outcomes from this interview were sports should be about fun, but it takes winning to have any. Try to make the most out of it and improve every day possible. I feel like that's something that he just kind of instilled in us as we were going through his program. Anyone can start something from the ground up and rise to be a competitive force with enough love and dedication to the program. And I think he's a great example of this, as he's built now 3 different programs completely from the ground up, and he has basically started youth lacrosse in West Virginia. Leading a program is tons of hard, selfless, and sometimes ungratifying work, but the times that it isn't that strenuous are worth the times that it is. He has said on multiple occasions that his job is not easy, that there's a lot of stress that is involved, a lot of different things that come with being the president of youth lacrosse, and the things that he has to do. So I'm just thankful that he is the man that he was for teaching me to play the game. Specializing is great for some athletes, but others could benefit more in other ways from playing multiple sports and having those different experiences. Like he said during the bulk of this interview, I think it's really good for athletes to switch different sports and try different sports and see what movements can relate to what, and see what you might be better at than certain things. Because I didn't try lacrosse until I hit the 8th grade, or 7th or 8th grade, and I was a baseball guy before that, and then realized that the lacrosse movements correlate a lot better with football movements, which made me that much more lethal in both sports. So that's my interview, and thank you for listening, and yeah.